Hello and welcome back. We are now here on the last few segments of the third presidential debate held in Pangasinan. So we just witnessed the five closing statements of the five presidential candidates. What can you say? Who made the biggest impact?
Right. Well, let me describe it. The entire round first. I felt that it was, in the end, a very emotional round. I think this is to be expected.
It's their last chance.
That's right. It's their last chance to appeal to people's emotions. Whether Duterte was, in fact, surprisingly or unsurprisingly, I don't know, pretty emotional with his conviction that I felt that he was saying that it's not his. He will be harsh, yes, but he's doing this for the country. That's quite compelling. Of course, you have Miriam, who's trying to show that she can still do it, and she's a fighter in spite of what she has gone through. And Mar, I think his statement that the best is yet to come is full of optimism. That to me is also an appeal to people's emotions. Poe, of course, Puso, I mean, by default, she has it. Perhaps Binay is the odd one out, right? Because although Miriam championed her experience, it was really Binay who bore it, who nailed it in. That he has all this executive experience that implicitly he's saying that many others don't have, all the others don't have, and what he wants to accomplish is what he already accomplished in Makati. That's a consistent message from day one, but somehow I felt it was already boring because he could have used the opportunity to really, apart from appealing to emotions, but also to address many of the other issues raised against him, right?
Right, I think this was the best round for me if you look at the average performance of everyone. Of course, I think
Why do you say so?
no, I think everyone took their time to really put on the table what they felt is their best aspect and what they can bring to the Philippines as a leader. I think Mar and Duterte had the best closing statements. I think it was the most compelling one. For Duterte, we saw his more emotional, more vulnerable side. I think he showed his conviction as a leader. He brought up this top
that's true.
doctrine, I think, which really resonates with, if I become president, if there's crime and corruption, I'm just gonna say stop. And if they don't stop, I'm gonna go to the distance. Now I'm willing to do whatever is necessary to stop corruption and crime. I think that was a very strong statement. It's gonna appeal to a lot of people who want change and who want effective governance and decisive governance. I think he did a very good job on that. So he balanced sincerity, conviction, and to also project himself as a strong man who get things done. On the part of Mar, it was really a message of optimism. I really agree with Jalen that he reminded everyone that we have gone so far in the last 6 years. We're no longer the sick man of Asia. We are the bright stars in an otherwise gloomy global economic landscape. And what he will bring about is the fruition and denouement of the kind of progress that we have achieved. So he was kind of saying, I'll be the upgrade.
Yeah.
I will bring about the best that we have sowed the seeds of progress, and under me you will see its fruition. And I think that was very good. And he sounded very sincere. It didn't sound like he was trying so hard to reach to a specific demographic or audience. So I think Mar and Duterte did very well. Miriam, I think it was a defiant speech.
Yes.
And I think it was the most emotional speech because you know that she's not in their best condition as far as her health is concerned. She is still in this debate. I mean, she looked, more feisty than the first debate. Perhaps the second debate she was not there at all. In the first debate, she actually she waned towards the middle of the debate. Here you see that she's still coming back for the final statement. And that kind of I will never stop, I will never give up. I think that was a very strong resonating message coming out of her. On Bina, it sounded more like he was giving a TED talk of promoting his CV. And I think it's a good thing. I mean, he should have done that earlier. This Makati model. I'm just surprised that he didn't bring it earlier. But nonetheless, I think he ended on a positive message and didn't sound too defensive or dismissive as he sounded in previous
So while we're
rounds.
at it, he mentioned that Senator Santiago started the speech very powerful. Like she had a very emotional speech. Do you think this will have an impact on her numbers? Because right now, it's 2% or 1%.
That's true. If the surveys are to be believed, and they are, I would agree, I would argue, credible. I am not sure though whether this speech would make any difference at all, precisely because the most effective campaign strategy still is going to the barrios,
Yeah.
going to the communities, meeting them, and converting them in person. Debates like this, we have seen that they can, make people shift allegiances here and there because of the rhetoric, but ultimately it's visiting people that still matters. Let me bring it back to our research, Vote of the Poor. One of the one of the most important attributes that people are looking for, I said this a while ago too, is concern for the poor. And when we ask them, okay, what do you mean by concern for the poor? Ano yung ibig sabihin ng simpatya o ng pagkalinga sa mga mahihirap? People would say, for example, among our informants in Tacloban, they would say, it's really about being visible, it's about being here through the crisis. And so in as much as Miriam's message was very hopeful and very feisty, if I may say, I'm not sure to what extent it would make a difference in the
So-
final analysis.
Groundwork should still be the priority.
True. So the health condition will forever be haunting her.
When it comes to the numbers of Duterte after this debate, because we're still fresh from the viral rape remark, and now that based on his performance, what can you say?
If we are to believe again that Filipinos or many Filipinos are very forgiving, I think they would let go of the rape joke.
With the performance he gave,
That's
though?
true. Yeah, true. But also, I mean, we have to bear in mind that Duterte's loyalists are really committed, and,
Yeah.
and the trend has always been increasing, especially in Mindanao. Not too long ago, he was at 49%. Now it's about 60+%. And Mindanao would make a difference this time around.
There's going to be a lot of variability in this. I mean, studies show that up until the last day, you could see as much as double-digit 15% variation in terms of people's voting. I mean, sometimes people feel excited about a candidate during the campaign, but
Fair enough,
come
yeah.
the voting day, they say, maybe I'm not sure if this person is the steady hand or the sound mind I'm looking for. So, I mean, in that sense, I think Duterte should not be complacent. But I think
Sure.
he did very well compared to the first and second debate. I know that in first and second debate he was a sensation because he used the entertainment card.
Yes.
But this
Yeah.
debate I saw a more sincere, a statesmanly Duterte that I did not actually expect. And given that he could have really been attacked on the rape joke, on him being supposedly a loose cannon, he's not careful with what he says, he could create international crisis. I think he showed the people of the Philippines that actually he could be a responsible leader if necessary, and that you should not, gauge him based on his mistakes and misshap, but based on the promise of effective governance that he can bring back to the table.
Okay.
Okay, let's now go back to the final leg of the third presidential debate.